hear it? I know it's a little bit, it's not too loud. It's time. Going by. Second after second. You ever wonder how long a day it is? No, sir. I'm still very, very, very nervous. I'm not that moxie, as Carol says. Have you ever said, I don't have time to cook. I don't have time to clean my house. I have to work, and I reach home, and I don't have time not even to work out. Exercise? What's that? I don't have time to prepare my speech. When? Between I go to a grocery store? Between I go run my errands while I'm stuck on traffic? You shouldn't be texting, so I cannot write my speech there. But what about if I talk to you watching Netflix? What about if I talk to you about playing soccer? What about grabbing a drink with friends? You don't have time for that. What if it's an emergency? Obviously you have time to that. You leave everything aside and you pay attention to that emergency. What does that mean? That emergency is something that matters to us. We prioritize it. You might think, I have work. If you're married, I have a wife. Maybe you have children. I have my wife to attend. I have children. I have to pick them up from school. Or mine is a baby, so he's in kindergarten. I don't have time to do my speech. I don't have time to take roles. Doing Toastmasters, it's only 1 hour a week. Well, I'm not telling you to leave your work aside. I'm not telling you to dump your wife. I know those are high priorities. And I'm not going to make you choose between work, wife, and children. It would be odd to pick one. Obviously, they're high priorities. But for example, you don't pick sleeping over going to work. You know, if you oversleep, well, you might get fired at work if you oversleep a lot. The point is that you choose how to prioritize your things. Let's say you have your wife, then your kids, then work. What comes next? Maybe your health? You don't take care of yourself? Well, you cannot do the other things. But what if next we have to choose between Toastmasters and going to the movie theater? We can say, it's far more likely that I go to the movie theater 2 hours, I'll enjoy myself. Our subconscious likes instant gratification. Because you say, going to Toastmasters, 1 hour a week, 52 weeks, 52 hours, I'm going to invest it. Where am I going to see that development in myself? It's going to take too long. But if I go to the movies, just 2 hours, I know I'll enjoy myself right now. I don't have to wait that long time. That's the point. You have to choose. Now, do you remember why you joined Toastmasters? And I don't mean any Toastmasters club, the Earnest. You're here, you're not an expert, you're not a Delta. You heard about Toastmasters, you said, hey, I'll join that in the company. Because you could go outside and teach another club. There are 25 clubs in Monterrey. Do you remember what was so special that first time you came? We all came here as guests. There are no currently founding members here, sadly. We all came as guests. What made you tick? What made you tick with this club? What resonated inside you? Think about it. Now let's say you all managed to make it to the session. And currently we're all doing a role. But what if there's no role? What if we have suddenly 20 people in here? You're only, as we say in Spanish, warming your seat. You're not advancing in your manual. And obviously if you're sitting there, well, you could do a table topic, but that's only the first one. So you can participate in the next table topics, and next time you come, you're not going to advance. And obviously as you're sitting in your place, you're not giving a speech, you also didn't advance in the competent communicator manual. Guess what? You just lost 60 minutes. 60 minutes that will not come back. You say, okay, next week I will give my speech. 6 more days. I didn't calculate how many hours, but a whole other week, next Thursday, 5:30, and finally sign up here. Why not have already done it. Time is that valuable that I will propose you how to try to squeeze a little bit of Toastmasters in your day. Number one, don't leave your manuals at home. If we're at the office, leave it at your desk. If we have the clean desk policy, leave it on your drawer. So when you have to grab a pen, you see, it's my manual. You have my 5 minutes between calls. Maybe you have a downtime or your meeting was canceled. What can I do? I check my records. Ooh, what's the next one? If I'm on number one, I can be the accountant next session. So by the time my VP of Education sends an email, I say, hey, I'm planning to be an accountant. I want to be an accountant. Or maybe take your competent communicator manual. Hey, I'm still planning on project number one. I have to give my manual, my first speech. Maybe read it, 1 minute, 2 minutes, they're very short. You have to start thinking on ideas. Next, you can also block your agenda. We all use Outlook, very modern. The meeting is scheduled at 5:30. Why not block yourself at 5 p.m.? So you can know that you have 30 minutes buffer between your last appointment. What if you have a last minute thing, like, hey, I have half an hour to finish and pack up and go to the session. Something that I want you to remember is we make this club. It's a workshop. Nobody made you come here, nobody's obliging you. The company sponsors it, but the company is not obliging you to take it. This club is great because you make it great. So Toastmasters.